What most projects lack right now is a proper onboarding experience. So what tend to happen is when you have a bad onboarding experience, there are few things which happen. One, people get confused easily. They just get confused, right? They do not know what you're doing, what they are themselves supposed to do right now, what happened till now, and what's coming next, and what happened in the past. If they do not have all this information, they have no idea who you are or what you are building. So, as a project or as a founder or as a community builder yourself, you are supposed to be educating your community on everything that's happening. And when a new person comes in, they are supposed to grasp, they are supposed to understand everything that happened and everything's that will be coming, and may educate them as fast as possible on everything that you are building right now. So how are you supposed to be doing this? And that is this video. So let's start with how most projects are doing it wrong, so that we can learn from them in what they did wrong, and let's figure out some ways on how to do it right. So projects that they are doing bad right now. So bad stuff. Let's start with the bad stuff. Bad stuff. One, most projects will be like, click this, right, in on their Discord, right, on their Discord they'll be like, click this now, read this, they'll and read this 1200 para 1200 para docs or something else, or some big paragraph which is so confusing with bad copywriting, and then click next, then read again, right, read again, then click this next, read again. When you give these people, right, click this right now, read this whole thing which is coming, and click next again, read all these stuff, click next, read all these stuff. When this happens, right, nobody is going to be reading your whole damn mathematical algebraic formula which is mentioned over there, right? No, ain't no one gonna be reading that, all that stuff. We have the brains of a goldfish. Imagine all these people who are gonna be coming through your onboarding experience. They are, imagine them as a fifth grader with the brain of a goldfish, right? They ain't gonna be reading this old stuff, right? Nobody's gonna be reading, no one. So how, that's the bad stuff that most projects are doing right now, right? Your structure, the way you wrote it itself is bad, right? Bad stuff, bad. Do not do this. So how do you do it right, right? Let's move on a little bit. Now the good stuff, good stuff, right? How do you do this right with the good stuff? The best way, right? Most projects right now do everything in a written format, right? Most projects do it in a written format. What is this written format? The written format is in this way. Basically, when people see all this big stuff, they just skip through, right? When they skip through, they're not understanding anything what's happening, right? But you're supposed to somehow make them understand. So the best way is that, for example, imagine you write a 200 or like 1000 word document, but if you make it into a video, that video could last only 30 seconds, right? Instead of going all through all this stuff, imagine they could just watch a 30-second video and understand everything. That's the easiest format, video format, onboarding format, right? You can easily make a 30-second video and explain everything, the key points, and boom, they just watch it through. And if you have some really good tonality and the way of speaking, you can even make the retention of people who watch higher. Written format, onboarding. Just when they join your community, when they join your Discord, make them watch a 30-second video, which they most likely will watch. Because if they are in entering your community with a good intention of joining that community, if they want to really join that community, that's the reason they came into your Discord. So they just easily watch 30-second video than read all this stuff over there. Nah, bad, bad, right? Right? Onboarding. Sorry for my bad handwriting, but yeah. That's the stuff. Now next. What's next? They do not. Let's in the video format. There's a second problem over here which we are making. The problem with video format is, again, I've seen a few people try the video format, but the problem is that most people have like a 10-minute video. The problem with that is when you have a 10-minute video over there, do you think people are going to be watching it? It gives the same feeling of reading a 1,000 word paragraph over there, right? Make it short, concise, simple. That's the next alpha. Short, simple. Short, concise, and simple, and boom, the video onboarding experience will be smoother, right? The next, the way your Discord is. Now, the onboarding experience, this is the initial phase. Let's call this the initial phase, all right? Shoot, I can't make it smaller. Let me just, boom, 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 boom. Come on, man. Now I can make this small, but let's call this the initial. This is the initial. When they join, click your Discord, they just join, and this is the initial phase, starting phase of onboarding. Now let's go into the next phase, which is oh my, oh my god, which is the middle phase, the structure. You're supposed to structure a community and Discord in a good way. Structure. So what happens is that, again, after the video onboarding, the easiest stuff that you need to focus on next is the structure your Discord is having. The problem is that most people structure their Discord. For example, there's a lot of stuff here and there, it makes stuff way too confusing for normal people. You're supposed to be having, for example, important information in a certain place, and the main stuff in a certain place, and unwanted and unimportant stuff which most people may or may not need in a certain place, and general stuff in a certain place, and order it in a good way where people will feel like clicking through it. Oh, now this is the stuff. Oh, now this is the stuff. They structure everything, literally everything. Imagine your audience, or imagine your community as a fifth grader. Like, imagine it like this. The best example would be, imagine them as like a 5-year-old Minecraft player, right? Imagine your community is a 5-year-old Minecraft player. Their brain it's like a goldfish brained people, right? So what you're supposed to be doing is make it smooth, make it look good, make it attractive, make it colorful, make it decorative, make it designing, and make it really good, so that they will feel like going through everything. And just structuring everything could easily bring up like 60 to 70% of everything that you're doing. Combined with this, the video format, boom, everything is good. Structure, video format, and that's the main stuff, or to create a best onboarding experience. So what is the next and the last phase, right? The last phase. So by now you could get easily like 90% of everything, right? Just by fixing these two stuff, right? So the next and the last and the best phase is the last 10%. The problem, this has actually some problems, but also some good stuff and bad stuff, right? Let's consider it like this. Pros, this is cons of the last phase. Cons. the last phase of onboarding. That ain't working for some reason. But yeah, the pros. Now, what is the last onboarding phase? So basically, the last onboarding phase is after the guy or after the new community member have joined your community, you're supposed to send them a greeting message personally, a personal message. For example, the last time I joined a community called Jirasan, right? It's like an NFT community of like-minded people. So when I joined their community, right, I sent a few messages saying, "Hey guys, I just bought my Jirasan right now," and stuff like that. And what happened was one of the team member called Zero Cool send me a friend request and send me a personalized DM saying, "Hey man, sup? How's it going? Happy to have you." And we just had like a 5-10 minute chat together and had some fun. Like it's like me meeting one of the core team members who send me a personalized message in private DM, and talking and having chat with them and like sharing some cool stuff into what I was and what he was, and we just easily bonded and created a connection. And this gives me a feeling is that now it makes me go to their community even more and engage over there. It's like a reciprocity effect, which I read in a book called Influence, right? It's a reciprocity effect, right? He gave me a personalized DM. Now there's something in my inner self which gives me to give him something back. The way I give him something back is engaging in the community. So the problem with this would be, and solution also, if it's a big community, right? If it's like a large community with hundreds of thousands of people, it's not possible. Big community, nah, not work, won't work. It won't work because imagine you have like hundreds of people joining every day. It'll be almost impossible. All the messages would be generic in most cases. Right? It would be impossible to send all these people private DMs. And second problem would be that most these people, if it's a big community, right, you will have bots, you will have these scammers, you'll have these all these bullshit things joining up, and it's gonna be hard, right? But and the pros would be happy people, makes people coming back, people, PPL, PPL, coming back. So, how? But there is a solution to all these cons, right? All these cons can be solved, right? Imagine, for example, the best way you can do this is that imagine this, right? If your community is really big, that means your community is kind of popular, or you are popular, or your brand or your project is popular. So if your brand or if your community is popular, that means everyone already know them and you're quite famous with a good reputation, probably with a good reputation. So if there is hundreds of thousands of people already joining a community, that means there will be quite a lot of active people. So what you can easily do is filter out the active and loyal people, loyal people, and for these people you send them a personalized message. Boom, problem solved. So when you send these people and when you send these people, all these stuff happens, right? When you send these filter out and send these people, boom, this becomes applied over here. Halas, finish. That's it, right? Filter out the really good and loyal people, send them a message, have a personalized DM with them, and it's the best way. And the thing is that it'll make them a lot happier. But we can take this a notch up. So what you can easily do is that every week have a schedule, right? Every Sunday or Monday, you could open your DMs. Have always write down in a sticky note or somewhere all the people who are active and loyal, which you actually send a personalized DM before. Every week, every week, right? Every week, send them a follow up, send them a GM, or have a chat with them every week, once in a week, and this would supercharge your growth. And this would, what happens with this is that this this into 10x 10x of this if you do this every week. But be like this, send them a GM, have a talk with them. Small talk is enough, do not make it a large talk if it'll just waste a lot of time. But have small talk with them, and but do not make the talk generic and too pitchy and too blah. Kind of have a good talk with them, like a friendly talk where both of you guys are chilling. But imagine if the, for some people this would kind of be annoying, right? Some people this would be annoying. So what you can do is, instead of every week, you send them every month. If you think that those people are annoyed, just make it every month or every once in a while, right? But if there is active and loyal people who's just happy talking to you and who's not annoyed, you just send them a message every week and they will be more than happy to connect with you. Or even have a call, one, even have a private call. Boom, problem solved. And this is how you create a perfect onboarding experience for your community. If you guys gained some value in this, hope you guys just click the like button, it would mean a lot. And let me just zoom out of all this and show you guys the, oh, I can't zoom out for some reason, but um so that you guys can actually see. Or let me just, give me a quick second. um I'm on, oh man, shit, I don't know how to zoom out, but yeah, boom. I do not know how to zoom out, but yeah, if you guys, I hope you guys gained some value in this. There's a lot of stuff which we talked about, a lot of nerdy stuff too. If you guys gained some value, feel feel free to like leave a like and see also.